Today we're going to explore the Uniswap decentralized exchange. So for those who don't know, Uniswap is a platform where crypto users can effectively buy, sell, and trade their crypto assets in a way that's separated from centralized authorities. So normally, if you were to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, you'd be purchasing it directly from Coinbase, who has their own supply. In a DEX like Uniswap, you're buying directly from a pool, which isn't owned by anyone, and enables people to buy and sell assets without any corporation's oversight. So the main aspect of Uniswap that I want to talk about today is liquidity. Now I'm sure we've all heard the term liquidity before, like, yo, are you providing liquidity for this volatile but lucrative asset? No, I'm not. But in all honesty, the concept of providing liquidity in crypto can be a somewhat confusing topic, as it's kind of the step past simple buying and selling of assets. So real quick, I want to just provide us all with a brief definition of liquidity, and then I'll jump into the Uniswap platform and show a bit of the process. So liquidity, in essence, is how easily an asset can be bought or sold at a stable price in a given market, meaning that the liquidity rate more or less determines the trading value between assets. Now, how is liquidity calculated? Well, there's a whole world of these things called liquidity pools. A liquidity pool is the collective contributions from users that sustain a market between a pair of assets. So for example, a liquidity pool consisting of ETH and DAI allows for a new market to establish between these assets, and the liquidity pool would hold an equal value of both of these assets. Users who provide liquidity to a pool are incentivized by receiving LP tokens in proportion to how much liquidity they provide to the pool. So the idea is for a liquidity pool to maintain an equal value part of each asset, allowing for both to be valued relatively precisely. Great, so should I be looking for a pool with higher liquidity or lower? Well, the higher the liquidity, the higher the chance of trading at a stable price. The lower the liquidity, the easier it becomes to miss out on some money. This is because the bigger the pool is, the less of a price impact there is when there's a large buy, which results in a more reliable trading environment. Okay, so for now, that's enough about what liquidity is. Now let's hop on over to Uniswap and add some visual support to this concept. Alright, so here we are at the Uniswap homepage. If we go and launch the app, a new tab is going to open where we can buy, sell, and trade our assets on Uniswap. So as you can see, I'm already signed into my Metamask wallet. Typically, you would see a connect wallet right here, and it would give you options for what wallet you want to connect with. And for this walkthrough, I'm going to be using Ropsten Test Ethereum. So I'm going to navigate over to my Metamask and switch over to the Ropsten Test Network. Perfect, so I already have some Test Ethereum, but I'm going to navigate over to this Ropsten Testnet faucet so we can walk through how to get some Test Ethereum. It looks like all you have to provide is your Ropsten address, so let's go ahead and copy that over real fast. And then we'll paste the address here and select Give Me Ropsten ETH. Successfully queued 10 Ethereum to the address, and we can see over here the statistics for this faucet. A lot of Ropsten Ethereum available, and 10 Ropsten Ethereum is the daily limit per address. Alright, so while the Ropsten Test Eth is transferring to the Metamask, I'll go ahead and show you guys some of the other faucets that you can use, and I'll drop this link in the description below. So we see we have some Ropsten faucets, we have Rinkeby, Gorley, which we used in the Polygon video, Kovan. So check out these faucets, have some fun, and test some stuff, you know. Alright, so let's go check out the Metamask and see if it's transferred already. It hasn't. So it's been about a minute, I would say. Cool, so my Ropsten balance updated. I got 10 new Test Ethereum. Now let's go back over to the Uniswap interface. I'm switched over to the Ropsten network on here, and we're gonna try swapping this Ethereum for another token. So we'll go over here. Let's do 1 Ethereum. We'll select the token. And let's select this DAI stablecoin. So as you can see, 1 Ethereum would translate to 386 DAI, but let's hit this gear up here and see what that does. So we've got slippage tolerance, transaction deadline, and interface settings. But what is slippage? Slippage is essentially the movement of an asset's price during a buy. As we know, cryptocurrency prices move pretty quickly, so determining your slippage will push your buy as long as it's within the percentage range you choose. Alright, so automatically the slippage is set to 0.5%. But just to see how we can change things, I'm going to go ahead and do 0.2%. The transaction deadline is basically the amount of time that you're willing to wait for your transaction to be fulfilled. So we'll go ahead and confirm I've got 1 Ethereum trading for 386 DAI, and with this drop down we can see the expectation, and that with the 0.2% slippage we'll receive 385 DAI. So it's about 1 DAI difference, and let's just go ahead and swap it. At this point, it's waiting for confirmation from the Metamask. We're going to have to go over to there, review all of this and confirm it there. So I'm going to run with the estimated gas fee, which will bring my total to a little bit over 1 Ethereum, and I'm going to confirm it. So the transaction was submitted. Let's go ahead and view it on Etherscan, see where it's at. Of course, this is a Ropsten Test Net transaction, so the Ethereum is valued at $0. Let's go ahead and check out the Metamask and see if it's transferred yet. Cool, so we see the transaction titled as a multi-call, and my balance has updated with 1 less Ethereum. Now if we navigate to the Assets tab of the wallet, we can see we only have Ethereum in here, there's no DAI, so we're going to have to import the token. And in order to do that, I'm going to go over here, and we can see the entire journey that the Ethereum went on to transfer into DAI. We'll select the latest DAI hash, copy this contract, bring it over to Metamask, and we'll import it that way. So we'll import the token, drop it right here, and after pasting in that contract address, the token symbol automatically updated and the decimal to 18. So we'll add the custom token, we see the balance at 386 DAI, and we'll import the token. Perfect, so now we have our updated DAI balance as well as our Ethereum balance. Now that we have not only Ethereum, but another crypto asset, we're gonna try and create some liquidity on Uniswap. So we'll go back over to the Uniswap interface, we'll select Pool, and we can learn more about providing liquidity on Uniswap v3, check out the top pools, but we're gonna go ahead and just select New Position. And here we're able to select the pair that we wanna create liquidity for. So we have ETH selected already, now let's go and select DAI. And here we can set the fee tier that we wanna associate with our contribution. We have 0.05% best for stable pairs, 0.3% for most pairs, and 1% for exotic pairs. So I'm just going to go with 0.05%. We don't have any liquidity data available because this is the test network. And now down here is where we get to interact with concentrated liquidity. So we can see that this is based off of how many DAI are worth 1 Ethereum. So I want to select 300 as my minimum amount of DAI worth an Ethereum and my max as, let's say, 400. So as the price fluctuates for DAI, if it reaches below this minimum price point or above this max price point, I won't be receiving any rewards, but as long as it's within this range, I'll receive my rewards for contributing to the pool. Here we have an option if you want to create liquidity across the entire price range. I'm not going to do that today, but here at this point we get to select our deposit amounts. I'm going to go ahead and do the max amount of DAI I have in my account, and based on the range that I selected here, this is the amount of ETH that would be put forth. So we'll go ahead and approve the DAI to be added to the liquidity pool. It brought me over to my Metamask where I give permission to the contract to access these funds. We have a transaction fee of 52 cents, so we'll go ahead and confirm. So we can see all my recent transactions here. I successfully traded an ETH for 386 DAI, and I got the approval for adding the DAI to the liquidity pool. So we'll go ahead and preview this transaction. And now we see that the price of this pool is within my selected range, and so the position is currently earning fees. So we see if the amount of DAI compared to an Ethereum falls below this point, the position will be 100% composed of ETH. And if the amount of DAI grows to this maximum price point, the position will be 100% composed of DAI at that point. So the moment of truth, let's add our liquidity. Now it's going to bring us over to Metamask again where we'll confirm this transaction. I'm going to go with the estimated gas fee, and here we have the total, and we'll confirm. Now we can view this liquidity contribution on Etherscan, but I'm going to go over here to our pending transactions so we can see all of the successes here, and we're just waiting on this liquidity contribution. Right on, so the transaction was successful, and there it is, liquidity. So overall, it was a pretty simple process to create liquidity on Uniswap, and I'm sure it'd be even faster with true assets instead of working in the test environment. But yeah, I'm really stoked about this because this was my first time working with liquidity on Uniswap, and it was a cool experience. I think the concept of concentrated liquidity is a very valuable feature as it gives users more control over their positions. And ultimately, I'm convinced I need to create liquidity on Uniswap with my personal crypto holdings. Anyways guys, thanks for exploring Uniswap with me. Let me know if you want to see more of the platform, and make sure to like and subscribe to support our channel. Stay well and safe everyone. I'll see you next time.